everybody. Look at that, Michael. That was the closest right there.
That was it right there.
On the second.
That's right. How's it going, everybody?
What's going on, man? What's up, Brad? Thank you for jumping on, man, and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I was actually I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna see if Jens wanted to hop on. I meant to.
Yeah. I put the link. Anyone that wants to jump on tonight, we're just kind of hanging out, catching up, right? Because we haven't done a show in a little while. So anyone that wants to jump on, the link is in the comment in that post that I made on Collection Wars. So yeah, let us know.
I have an order in for to the Dark Side Pizza, but
for delivering.
I'm a little far away to pick it up, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Johnny, can you join? Yeah, Johnny, jump on, man. Like I said, the link is in the Facebook group.
Well, the funny thing is, a friend of mine who actually built a 1-to-1 scale Death Star just texted me today about the Dark Side Pizza place because he lives in Texas now.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, "Do you know this guy, Michael Haas, and like this Dark Side Pizza place?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's a buddy of mine." And so this guy built this. I actually helped him build the Death Star. I'm like, "Oh man, like yeah, he's a good friend of mine." I don't think I ever mentioned it to you, Michael. Like that, there's a guy he's done in the RPF who built a 1-to-1 studio scale Death Star. So I helped him, and his Death Star is incredible.
Nice.
But,
very cool.
Humongous, 36 inch.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. Well, last week I was in Dallas for that convention. Michael obviously was there on Sunday, and yeah, the whole time in the convention, when I was talking just to people, oh yeah, they all knew about the Dark Side. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's very humbling, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good.
What's up, Johnny? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good.
Good, man. Good.
Yeah, good, man. And Jens, yeah, if you want to jump on, Jens, the link is in the comments on the Facebook group. Well, cool. How's everyone doing? What's up, Michael? How's the rest? How's work?
Golly. Well, I got out of there early, hauled ass about an hour and a half ago, and Denise made me a homemade dinner. I miss those homemade dinners,
Yeah.
It's either pizza or pasta or, it's always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and still trying to maintain all the weight I lost, you know what I mean? That's,
Still look good, buddy.
What's that?
You still look good.
Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, I'm maintaining. I'm exercising. I'm walking every morning, and either that or running. So
nice.
I know when the opening happened, I was like, "Where's Michael?" And I couldn't see you because I was seeing you from your side. Because he lost. I was like, "Where did he go?"
He just disappeared. Yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
Hey, but no, I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you. I'm all about a better, healthy lifestyle, and you look much better.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's been an amazing journey. We're 2 months in over there at Dark Side, and it respectfully just has not let up at all. And the best thing is when you're every once in a while, I'll get on the mic. I think I told you, Gabe. I'll get on the mic and just real fast just say, "Hey, everybody, I just want to say thank you for your Saturday. Your time is very valuable," because a lot of times they're waiting an hour and a half or so to sit down. And I just let them know, I'm very grateful for them to be there. And, a lot of people ask me at the tables, so about, how this all began and all the props and so I'll go into the spill about the nostalgia, I'll look at the little kids and say, "See that up there? Those are called bicycles. We didn't wear helmets." It's really cool. We have so I interact with the audience, everybody there. But the other day, last Saturday, her name's Nancy, definitely in her 70s. And, I just my spills are usually like 4 or 5 minutes tops. And when I got done, and I really dig in, like, "Hey, does anybody remember the Sears catalog?" Or, we used to drink out of water hose, Saturday morning cartoons, all this good stuff. Well, when I finished, I looked over and this lady was crying. And it hit me. It's like, wow. Because sometimes I'll get on and there's maybe 4 4 or 5 people out of 80 people in there that are really into it. Mostly, usually, definitely more than that. But I mean, you get, and then some. Sometimes you get a good crowd, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And it's really good when you have the crowds in there and just going back and talking 80s and 70s and when the
Hey,
movie.
Mike, can I ask you, like, so like, obviously you guys are like super busy, so I'm sure there's like not a lot of downtime for people to kind of like really pay attention to like everything that's going on. But like, I was kind of curious, like, if there's like any in the waiting area, if you had some like if you had like a promo going, and whether it's inside or outside, kind of like all the things cut together from the start to finish of
No.
Collection Wars, of like what you why you did what you did.
No, that's cool. That'd be cool to have it edited that way. But actually, maybe someday that's a great idea to put something like that. Take a long time to find out the footage, right, Gabe? But yeah, it's cool. And I'm collecting a lot of the different type of photos, like when the celebrities, like we had Leah Thompson in there two Saturdays ago, which was incredible. Just pictures by the Dark Side banners and stuff. It's just we're starting to really get recognized out there, and it's really humbling. It's hard to believe, actually. But
what's the biggest seller right now? Like what pizza is like the biggest seller?
So it's between the definitely the meat lovers, our meat lovers, and our barbecue chicken pizza.
Cool.
Isn't that crazy? And my favorite is a white margarita. We have a red, which is with sauce.
Yeah.
I like the white one with just the.
Is that a garlic sauce?
I'm sorry.
The white margarita is with a garlic sauce.
There's no sauce at all. It's cheese, tomatoes, the basil, garlic, and olive oil. It's just got a good. I don't know if you guys have ever. I mean, I know you got the California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, they even sell their frozen margarita.
Yeah.
It's like that, but fresh, and it's good.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's my favorite.
Nice.
Man. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm excited to tell you guys about this new statue I ordered this weekend. Badass. Well, that's nice.
All right.
Sorry, I'm messing with my thing real quick. Sorry.
What are we gonna get into it later, or?
Oh, wait, I can tell you now. I didn't tell Gabe. I don't think. Maybe did I tell you about it, Mad Max?
No.
Dude, it's badass. So, do you guys remember? We even talked about this guy. He's in Peru, and very talented artist. He does a lot of stuff for, Van Damme, and definitely most important, Sylvester Stallone. They're friends, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he does these third scale statues. You guys remember the Dutch Predator statue I got?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Prime 1.
I'm sorry?
The Prime 1 right? The Jungle Hunter?
Negative. No, this is a private guy in Peru that makes these statues. He only usually does like 15 of them. But anyway, I have a Conan, the third scale Conan. It's got real hair. And I got the Dutch Predator. That was the first one I got with the hair. It's badass. But this right now it's Mad Max Part 2. The Road Warrior.
Wow.
And he's got his brace. It's in the leathers. I was going to send it to you, Gabe. It's.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I just got it handled. I paid for it yesterday.
Yeah.
But
is it silicone or is it resin or?
I think it's resin.
Yeah.
It's resin, but it's just
Nice. What scale is it, Michael?
third scale.
So it's about what 2 feet tall then, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I wish I could really show y'all footage because it's really cool. It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is it just a statue, or does it have like a base?
It's on the road. It's on the street with stripes. And the dogs with him.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, let me see if I can just see the picture. Let me see if I can. I don't have good service where I'm at, but
yeah,
I'd love to show y'all.
Dude,
while you're looking for
that's
that,
awesome, Mike.
let's say hi to everyone on.
Yes. Yeah.
We got Jens in the house. What's up, Jens? How you doing?
Yes.
Armando in the house. What's up?
What's up, Armando?
We got Princess Mai up in here. Anakin Skywalker. What's up?
What's up, Princess?
We got Janine. Hi, Janine. How are you?
Hey, Janine.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Janine.
Trent in the house. What's up, Trent?
My brother Trent.
Johnny jumped on. So
Look at Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
what's up, Johnny? Yeah.
Double dose.
Kelvin, what's up, Kelvin? How you doing? Captain Rex
Kelvin.
up in here. Got
Rex.
Robin. What's up, Robin? It was obviously
Hey, Robin.
great to see you and Ben this last weekend.
Yeah, I had some people come in, Robin or Ben, today and asked about you guys. I can't remember their name, but they mentioned you.
Yeah, I got Trent in
Trent.
here. What's up, Trent? We have Matt. What's up, Matt? How you doing,
Hey,
bro?
brother. Good to see you, dude.
Got
What's up,
Flex
Matt?
in the house. What's up, Flex?
Hey, buddy.
Got
up,
Nilda.
Flex?
What's up, Nilda? Nilda too. It was such
You guys,
hanging
yeah,
out with Nilda this last weekend.
that was a great interview that you guys did with her as well. Like the panel, that was awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
It was
We
good to see.
totally winged it too, and it was like, we
Really?
got this. We
Yeah.
don't need to.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's kind of how we did it in Celebration.
Yeah, same exact thing. Yeah. Infinity SQ.
How's it going?
So
Yeah, what's up, man? Got Sean in the house. What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? Yeah, some of the usual faces. Obviously,
Yeah, it's awesome.
great to see you guys. Yeah, we've been a little on and off with the show, so
Yeah.
today we figured, let's just jump on. Let's invite everyone on and see who wants to jump on and hang out a little bit. Got Marcel. What's up,
Hey,
Marcel? How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's good to see everybody tonight. It really is. It's just, I know everybody's doing their thing, but it's,
Yeah, can we talk about the big news of Jeff Jacobs selling his collection?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll definitely. Let's start. Let's do a quick round of the collections and stuff. What everyone's up to on the panel.
Yeah.
Michael, I know you obviously you just got that Mad Max thing. Anything else? And you just kind of been working.
So yeah, a few things. I got just received a couple of the Death Star towers.
Nice.
And we're building a stand right now for the 3-foot Viper, Battlestar Galactica Viper, that Mike Salzo built.
Nice.
whoa.
It's badass, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing it's really cool.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to put the wings on it and stuff, and be able to display it properly. But I think when it comes to the collection stuff, I'm really excited that when Gabe and I were at Celebration, we went over and talked to. It was actually the president of the company of Gentle Giant. I don't know if Gabe, you remember that, and they were showing a couple of the deals, and I was pretty bothered. I know Brad's probably heard it in the past. I'm really into their jumbos, the Gentle Giant jumbo figures, and they've been coming out slowly but surely. But he specifically, I remember him telling me that, we are going to try to release a good majority of them, but we'll never do FX7. And I was like, hey man, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, John?
But anyway, long story short, they're going to be releasing a jumbo FX7 figure.
Really? That's gonna be huge.
Yes,
Man.
Damn.
and Jason Eaton's right now. I'm going to go ahead and just say it, but he's not completely done with it. But he's working on he has been for years, but it's he'll be done with it within the month. He's doing the Colin Cantwell Y-wing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm getting his piece.
Nice.
He's done one of those in the past. I remember seeing him years ago. That he did one. I believe. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, it was never complete, but now he has everything out. He was getting all the found parts and stuff for it. And now he's finally got it together. So
Yeah.
and they're gonna cast his kit like the Skyhopper.
Nice.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I like the Cantwell stuff. Just even though it's me and Joseph were talking the other day, it's kind of hokey looking, a lot of those models.
Yeah.
But let's remember that Ralph McQuarrie and all these other guys, Joe Johnson, none of them were around to actually start thank heavens for Ralph McQuarrie, right? Because he was able to draw it out. But what Cantwell put together was pretty cool, you know. So
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
that's where it all started.
Yeah. Well,
Do you-
Brad, Johnny, or actually, yeah, go ahead, Brad. Do you want to?
No, I was just gonna ask Michael. Did you ever get a Cantwell X-wing?
No, but Jason Eaton's gonna do one.
Yeah.
I know somebody made one before. It was at Wonderfest, but the
Yeah.
only ones I have is the Sandcrawler,
Okay.
and working on the Chris Benware is going to build the Star Destroyer.
Yeah. I always like that green long nose. You know, it always is a cool design.
Badass. Yeah, it was a dragster.
Dragster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
Sean,
Well-
it's good to see you on the show.
Oh, nice, man! It's it's an honor to meet you and Gabe, man. Actually, Brad too. Johnny, I think I met one time before, but yeah, it's nice to see you guys, man.
Look at that vintage hat he's got on. That's old. Shoot.
This is the Heroes and Villains. Actually, they had it at New York Comic Con a couple of times.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Well, Sean, I mean, this is the first time you've jumped on with us, so welcome, of course. For obviously anyone that doesn't know you or anything, you want to give us a little introduction real quick? And
yeah. I mean,
Background looks awesome.
thank you. I've been a Star Wars fan for a long time, for ever since I was a little kid. My mom she actually signed me up for the fan club stuff when I was a kid. So I have all that stuff when I was a kid. She to this day she still loves Star Wars. I just had her down here the other day, and I've been a Star Wars fan forever. My collection has moved in and out from 80s to now everything is now Star Wars now. But I'm an artist. I'm a graphic artist by trade. So I've been doing this.
Looking behind you, don't you? Is that one of the Macquarie X-wings?
I wanted to show Michael this a long time ago, but I remember you guys had Roberto on there,
shoot.
and I had actually found this piece. I love this piece.
Holy, that's the Eaton, right?
This is actually a artist, Richard Long. He actually created this. Yeah.
I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, a long time ago. I got this from a modeler, and he told me, he was like, "Hey, this is a rare piece," and I was like,
"Yeah, it is.
I'll take it." I think I got it for really cheap, and I love this piece because I'm a huge Macquarie fan. As an artist, you just love Macquarie stuff, and for me,
that X-wing, that's
keep us on the big screen, Gabe.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
badass, dude.
Yeah.
That's just sexy as hell.
Yeah, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. I actually, when I got it, it was all damaged. I ended up kind of fixing it and actually kind of putting everything back together properly, and kind of weathering it just a little bit. But it came in pretty well, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece, man. I love the fighters and everything, but the Macquarie stuff for me is a thing.
Yeah, Joseph. It's kind of like me and Joseph have a big respect together when it comes to the models, and me and him share. I put him in touch with one of my artists and stuff, and it's like sharing your girl. You know what I mean. You can't share your. You know what I mean. This is mine. So when you have artists, because it takes so long to have a model built, but anyway, so I put him in touch with Mike Salzo, and now all these models. He always wants stuff done, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, you're stepping. But what I was going to tell you is he's really into the Macquarie stuff as well. And, because I had the opportunity to buy the Slave One, the Macquarie Slave One that Robin built. And I let Joseph get it, because I know he was really starting to do the Macquarie stuff. But I love my Macquarie Sandcrawler. That thing's, have you seen it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I've watched you and Gabe's collection probably 20, 30 times.
Well, you got a beautiful, and I love the way your stuff is set up. I love it
so much. There's another side over here too that's crazy too. It's just I built this whole room for Star Wars, just dedicated to Star Wars.
Sean, can I ask what the Red 5 wing behind you is?
This is the Icons Red 5. I found this at a toy show in Maryland, and the guy gave it to me for super cheap. I couldn't pass it up on the price.
Are the wings bending?
Yes, Michael, that is the best. That's the biggest problem with this thing, is that the wings are bent.
Yeah, you can fix it with a heat gun and put some steel or brass rods in there.
Yeah,
But
usually
I was just referring to that huge wing in the back.
this one right here.
No, the wing.
The
Oh, that was a company that no longer exists. I don't want to say the name, but like they were, they built. I think they did that with somebody. It was a collaboration.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He brought some really kick-ass shit to the table.
It was a really they were really beautiful pieces. I found that on eBay, and the guy didn't want to sell it on eBay, so we spoke with each other offline, and he sold it for a good price, and I couldn't miss.
Nice.
Just to have that a part of my collection is just something to me is like super rare. Like I have some very rare pieces here that like I just find stuff. Like I'm a good finder of stuff. For some reason.
Yeah, man. Well, we got to get you on the show and do a little.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I honestly don't know if I've met you before, Sean, or not.
No, you never have. We never have.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you hopped on tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no. Well, any latest pickups that you've recently added to the collection that you're like stoked about?
Right now, nothing new because I'm kind of holding off for some stuff. Like I think I'm coming down to, for me, for my collection, I'm kind of drawing down to like the last pieces that I really, really want for my collection. Because I just got, at some point you just can't fit anything else anymore. You just like, there's some statues that I want from Sideshow, but like overall for ships, because I want to finish off my ship collection, just to have everything like built and like kind of just made. Like I have a couple pieces that are like on the building thing right now that I'm not building myself. I just had somebody make it for me. But that's like the last pieces that I want, and that's really it for me.
I thought that I was tapped out, but then I sold my kids and I took over their room. So then it's a win-win. Yeah.
Right. Start slowly going into the rest of the house. Yeah.
So for me, it's just like I'm just waiting, kind of like these last couple pieces, and I say I'm done, but I think at this point, I think I'm at a good place. I'm happy with what my collection's looking like.
Let me, before we move on, let me just jump in right now. So in the panel last week, Gabe and I talked a lot about that, about when is enough,
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was preaching the preach over there, and I'm buying this Mad Max. I'm gonna go ahead. The Death Star 2 is working now.
Yeah.
You got area to expand, right? Still,
Armando says, "Open up a pizza restaurant."
No, yeah, right.
It's funny. Michael, you might like this, and actually, Gabe, you might like it. I don't know if you guys remember. There's an old anime cartoon back in like the 70s and 80s called Battleship. It was called Star Blazers.
Battleship Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. And I just ordered the ship. It was a model that was made by, I think it was either Bandai or Soul Jigoken. I'm a huge 80s cartoon kid. Like, I used to love that kind of stuff. So I just ordered that. And that's not Star Wars related, but it's just a giant.
Have you watched the recent tested video from WonderCon, and that guy who built the Yamato, and it's like 5 feet long. It's incredible.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I love that cartoon as a kid, so I just kind of like, what, I want that as a model, and so I ordered that actually. So
nice.
Is that a vintage Star Wars game, or is that the newer one?
This is the vintage. It is a vintage one. If you can see it, if I can see it, turn around. One. Yeah, it's the beautiful vintage one. I love it.
But it's the arcade one, right?
It is the arcade one-up one. It's the arcade one.
Yeah. Where do you live at, Sean?
I'm in Delaware.
Okay.
Nice.
Small Delaware, yeah.
Anytime I hear the word Delaware, like someone's from Delaware, I always think Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
Man, I had a customer that came in yesterday, and I almost said it to him, but I didn't. But he looked just like that dude in Wayne's World with the big black hair. Big, and the dude was definitely in his 50s. I mean, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. I was like, dude, Wayne's World, but I didn't want to, might upset him.
Showing.
Yeah.
So that's
And hopefully soon. I talked to Felipe this morning. Felipe, I'm glad you're on the show. He said within the month, the 6 scale X-Wing is going to be ready. Guys, this thing is fucking huge, dude. It's badass.
Where are you even gonna put that?
So we were going to initially I talked about doing the Dagobah swamp landing deal, but I realized how big that would have to be. So me and Felipe have collaborated, and he's going to build some inner hooks for it, and we're going to hang it on the dark side.
Nice.
You know, I'm amazed. Michael, you must have a Jedi mind trick with your wife, like just because you've talked about it's not the reason that you built the dark side to have it, but yet we all know that that's why. But yet, and yet you still just like Denise. No, that's not what I.
I know, right? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, like I told you, she's just like, no problem. Hey, here I go, baby. No, she's totally good, actually. Now we really are partners and love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Half the stuff I get, she doesn't even. She's like, oh, that's nice,
I'm not sure which wife I'm scared of. Is Gabe's wife or your wife? It's like I'm kind of
Probably my wife. Yeah.
I would have to say, and if the wives are watching, I'm going to have to say Gabe's wife.
well, legally, yes, yeah.
That's right.
It's funny because I always bring that up. I'm like, all my friends are kind of scared of you, and she's like, it's all your fault because you're always telling them that I do this and I do that. I'm like, whoa.
All right, hey, didn't mean to upset you, baby.
Oh man, but cool, man. What Johnny? You just sent me some pictures of some posters. What's up with those? Let me bring those up.
Yeah. I've been on a little vintage streak in regards to posters. So the first one I think everyone's gonna like. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's an original. I would consider it a door poster. It's in French. I'm not gonna butcher my French right now, but
Yeah.
it came in pristine shape. It came actually from Bologna, Italy, of all places.
In French, it says Blade Runner.
Yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
It listen for. Oh no, wait, it's Italian, right? Or did you say French?
French, yeah.
French.
So yeah, it came in pristine shape. I got a good deal on it, and man, I just stared at it for a long time because of all the little details and just how great condition it is. I mean, given what 40 plus years, right? From Blade Runner,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, it's in great condition. I mean, it extends my life by 2 times. So it's awesome. Yeah.
You mean 5 years ago?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. We're almost there. We can almost make LA that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you also James Bond. Is this another French one?
No, this is actually Jesus. I think it's
Spanish.
It's a South American one, Gabe.
Okay.
But I don't know what region. I think it was Argentina, maybe. Argentina. This one came in. This one's a little bit beat up, but I'm gonna get it linen backed and whatnot, get it all pretty and whatnot. But
it's a big like 6 by.
No. Truth be told, I thought it was that size until I saw it after I bought it. But it's just a one sheet, But
okay.
Yeah.
That's
of
awesome.
course.
That's still big, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I was to show you my biggest size poster, it's actually a billboard. But no one wants to linen back that yet. So
from what movie?
Well, I got a couple. I have one coming in, but I'm gonna wait to see the condition. But the one I have right now, it's Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of like the by 6 foot by 5 foot kind of.
No, this one's 10 by 13 or 14 feet. Yeah, and it's the part 1, so it has the original logo. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. In a minute, I could go to my room real quick and bring it. It's like in this huge folder, and it's all folded, but it's like that thick. Yeah.
That's cool,
but yeah, I got a couple, but I'll I'm gonna see if I want to let them back them first and then show them off. But yeah. As my latest pickups, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Nice. All right, Matt. Have a great rest of your night, bro.
Yeah.
Later, man. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. What about you, Brad? Hey, I've been seeing your posts that me and you are gonna collaborate on TikTok, and we're gonna do TikTok dances.
I'm trying to, I unfortunately I have old white man's disease, so it's like, so
Michael was trying to tell everyone that I do TikTok, and I'm like, no, I do not do TikTok dances. All right.
I saw that on the interview when you guys were on the panel. Yeah, I was like, wait, yeah, he was totally throwing you under the bus. It was great. Pickups are not much. Like I've just been. I always kind of go back and forth with focusing on my vintage action figure collection and then props. So I kind of peter back and forth. When I get burnt out on props, I go to vintage action figures or just even just vintage toys in general. But I will give you a spoiler or a thing that will come up in the prop store. So I had prop store reached out to me a couple of years ago about using my whip, my Indiana Jones whip that
for the magazine.
So like they put in the Entertainment Weekly and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like I have it and it was used in the Entertainment Weekly. So then they reached out and asked me if I wanted to sell it, and I was kind of curious of what their valuation was, and it hit a point where I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. So it's going to be in the August auction.
Well, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. And what is it?
The whip?
So, yeah, it's the Indiana. Yeah. They bought it, and I didn't know what it was for, and then it ended up being in that Entertainment Weekly promo. Unfortunately, I never touched it or anything, but still, it's the last promo that he'll ever probably do for Indiana Jones. So it's kind of like the last whip that he'll ever be photographed with, unless he does other things, which you never know. But,
that picture.
So it's going to come up in the August auction, and we'll see. But
what figures? What vintage figures are we talking? Star Wars or like Indiana Jones or?
So I have.
Let me just for you guys.
There's the whip. There it is.
So Entertainment Week.
That's my whip. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So right now I have most of the figures that I really want. I have roughly around 100 mint on card, figures. But now that I have kind of like all the Star Wars and I have the full run of Indiana Jones and everything, even
on the card.
Yeah, on the card and loose, and I have all the play sets and the horse and everything, both boxed, engine box and loose.
That's kind of like that's badass.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I had them as a kid. That's the cool thing is that I had them and I kept them at my grandma's house. I'm originally from Seattle and she was in Spokane, so every time I would go over there, I always had toys at her house that I could play with. So I had them there, but then obviously just like everyone else, they get lost to time. So I remember playing with them and always enjoying them. But so now I'm just kind of like, I'll pick up a random mint on card action figure when I see a good deal. I just picked up the Rebo band, mint on card or mint in the box. It's just kind of like, I don't know, but I also like, I'll reach out and like I do like just toys that I had as a kid, like the Blue Thunder, I had the Blue Thunder, I had the Night 2000 talking car and just like all those things. So it's kind of like, basically I was talking to someone today. I was like, I'll go on eBay and like, I'll kind of get a random thought in my head. Like, oh, remember when I had that thing? I wonder if that's how much that is. And I'll look it up, and then you go down the rabbit hole of just like the minuscule things. Like I bought my Swatch watch that I had when I was in like,
I've been doing that through the whole build of the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I recently did that. You know with what? With football pencils. I don't know if anybody remembers in like
yes, dude. I remember. Yeah.
They had like the football pencils with the thing. I was like, oh
With the
my
logos,
I
with
love
the name, yeah, I mean, name of the team on them. Yeah.
God. So I got a couple of them on eBay.
So
Yeah, I love the displaying Brad the Indiana Jones play all the sets, loose. I
Yeah.
don't have them in the car. I have a couple in the car, but I'm not really into card guy, but I love them loose. And I just like, y'all might have seen on my Instagram post, I recently took my figure case that I had built for my Kenner vintage collection. I took it over to the house. So it's now in my study. And so I can see it more because I don't get over here. Like last time I was in here was, a couple weeks ago. So,
Well, I need a video of that. And let me ask Michael, do you like display them how you want to display them loose, or do you display them like what they look like on the box?
I displayed them in order of how they were released.
Oh, okay.
That's how I do
And it
it.
was cool because I was sending a bunch of pictures to Gabe, showing him, and like the lighting and that guy that we had him on our show, incredible work this guy does on these cases, man. He does these light, and he sent for my Barbie one we did for a surprise for my wife, the strip. I on purpose one of these perfect LED solid lights instead of the ones that you can see the little each individual. Yeah, and I don't know why he swapped it. It doesn't switch it out because it's so cheap looking. And I've told him respectfully, I'm not trying to be mean, but it just looks so much classier with a solid line,
So is that one that's kind of more diffused with like a silicone like rubber coating? Yeah, I'm the same way, and it's like it's hard to find that.
Yeah,
they're basically they're more for like exterior use, but it's hard to find that are really. It's amazing. Like I think someone would make a killing. Just
Gabe got him.
Yeah.
You
told me, I was like, I need them for my vintage collection.
Yeah.
I'm using all those in my studio model gallery.
Yeah.
So Gabe, are those warm?
I got the cool one. So it's 65K, 6,500K. So
and it's got like 4 different
like daylight.
Right. Holy shit, right.
Yeah, everything.
Amazon?
Everything. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, it's called Tatazone.
Okay.
Is the brand. But yeah, no, everything in the collection room, I always tend to get either 6,000 or 6,500.
Link in the description, below. Gabe for a 30% discount.
Right. Check this out. I haven't shown you guys this, but I've been working on a little layout. Here, I'm gonna go big screen real quick. Look at
badass.
Nice.
Like that.
I want to see like a more. Yeah, that's awesome. I love things in the middle of a room like that.
Yeah. So now there's like a little with some of the studio scales. They're just
cool.
like in the middle.
Are you planning on putting a case over that one, Gabe?
Yeah. I already ordered it. It's on its way. Cool. So it's gonna be all.
Where's the Falcon?
The Falcon's over here on this side. So they're all right.
Oh wow.
Next to each other. But if you notice, what I had to take out of the room, and why I'm standing up.
Chair.
Yep. The Regal robot chair. I had to take it out, and that's the thing. Like,
wow.
Back when I was first, made this space, it was supposed to be an office, and I was really I was using it for an office. And then, we would do collection wars, and I had a little desk and everything. And then just slowly, again, you run out of space, right? You start running out of space. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, all right, well, there's just this giant chair. I don't even have a desk anymore because I don't have any space. I bring this little portable desk in every time we do collection wars. And I'm like, well, we're only doing collection wars if that once a week. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna make it a collection room. Like there's no need.
Get a bar stool. Get a bar stool kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought today I was like, get a little bar stool, but But yeah, so now the chair, my wife's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I was like, "Well, I could put it in the living room." She's like, "No, you're not putting that in the living room." So I took it. Luckily, we have a pretty big master. So like our master has like an extra bedroom attached to it. It's like an office. I just stuck it there. Now it has a bunch of laundry and shirts on top of it. Like,
yeah, if y'all can excuse me for 5 minutes, I gotta call the restaurant and just make sure my managers.
You're good, Mike.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
Gabe, you got to get now you get a director's chair in there because those are small. You can kind of break those.
Up and just sitting here. Yeah.
And put Gabe, with like Collection Wars on the back of the corner. That's a good idea, Sean.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. I also I ended up doing this little section.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
All the Rico Robot stuff and I ended up putting that there.
So Gabe,
yeah.
Are you now at a point where you have to be extremely selective of what you're getting?
Absolutely. Oh, I've been. See, this is the problem, is that I kind of, what you said earlier kind of rung a little bell for me, because honestly, I was done with my collection probably about maybe, I would say 10 years ago, maybe. I mean, maybe not 10 years, but I was just collecting the master replica stuff. There's only certain things like Grail pieces that I wanted, the quarter scale biker scout, right? Just some holy grails for me that I had already gotten. And it just slowly just started to creep in and started to expand and started to get a bunch of extra stuff. And after the convention, I kind of came back and I was just like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff in here that I just have it just to fill the space or to complete a collection in my mind, this goes to this and this belongs here because of the completeness of it. But I was like, you know what? No, original trilogy is where my heart is, original trilogy and Rogue One. So I really want to focus back on that. I'm probably going to start, at least, if not selling it, I might not sell it, but at least they're going to go back in boxes and go into the garage.
I think exactly what you said is a very I think across the board, I think everyone goes through that or a variation of it, where they'll just buy whatever they want, but then over time you really start to go, okay, what's really a focus for me? Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things, because I remember when you started Collection Wars, you weren't even a studio scale person. You're I don't even care. I like the helmets and the lightsabers and stuff like that. And it's then I think you got the Falcon or something that I think Michael talked to you into getting something, and just so then it kind of filled it in. But
honestly, yeah, I really just had two, and then I was like, that's it. I'm not gonna buy studio. I never wanted to get into studio scale. Early on, with master replicas, I was like, no, I'm not. As I'm saying this as I'm seeing that Y-wing behind you, Sean, I'm like,
listen, that was I'm where you at. I'm there's only certain ships. I don't need every single ship in the fleet. I don't need all that. I just need a couple, and I'm good. That was my goal.
You say that, but yeah.
No, I'm serious. I wanted a couple other pieces, and I am done. I'm happy that I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. Once I get there, I'm you know what? I don't have to go back and I need something. I need this person. I don't need that person's ship. I'm fine where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you have a mental health issue. I swear to God. We're no, that's all I need. That's all I need. I swear to God. And it's then we we're just we're confessing our sins to the masses.
You know what's funny is when people come into your room, everybody I know, and I'm pretty sure everybody has the same thing. It's everybody's amazed by what you have.
Right.
And the funny part is I don't get a lot of collectors down here. I get people, just random people coming down who don't really know that much about what we have. And they're in awe of it. And when I go, I'm like, that's what I want. I want people to be like, oh wow, this is amazing. This brings me back to my childhood. And that's what I want. I don't care. Like the collectors, they come down like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's fine, whatever. You know, they've seen it before. But for us, when somebody random comes down, like a kid or something like that, like, you know, and they're like, oh wow, like that's where I'm like, you know what, I'm fine, I'm happy now, and that's the part I love, you know. So
absolutely. and that really was. I mean, again, I wanted to be able to, and not only that, but what I love more than even just the collections is that to be organized and nice and neat, and that was frustrating me because there was. I mean, probably for the last like 2 years, like I'll walk in here and I'm like, ugh, there's stuff on the floor. There's like stuff that has no place for it. And then, like I said, just recently, I was just like, you know what? No, that's it. Like it's just on the floor. Either I'm going to sell it or it's going to go back in a box. And then if I get a bigger place, then, you know, then I'll display.
It's interesting. I think we always talk about like what other people's reactions to it is. But like, for me, like sometimes I just like to look it around. I just like to look and just take it in sometimes and just enjoy what it is, and it brings you back to certain things in your past. And I think we never really talk about what it means to us versus like what the impact it has for other people. And it's like, it's like I think that some of the best things. It's almost like you just get to. I always say they're the things that we collect are almost like interactive or 3D movie posters. Because sometimes when you see a movie poster, like what Johnny collects, and you go like those have an impact to you because you either remember seeing it or it just has a thing that touches you, and it's like that's what this stuff does to us. That's why I really appreciate like what Johnny does. Is like got that, and it's like those movie posters like will always be a thing where like it's a touchstone to you remember that time when you saw it, or maybe you didn't, and you just like appreciate where it was at that time. Like that Blade Runner poster that was probably hung in some like hallway in France that so many people saw, and it's like a visceral feeling of like that time and era, you know.
Well, that's what I'm like. Even like when I set up this, like the to be able to walk around the AT-AT and actually like see it all the way around, which is something that I've never done because it's always been in a like up against a wall or in a cabinet, and like that alone, just that little act, like brought so much joy to me. Like being able to actually like walk around it and be like, oh man, like look at all the detail on the back and on the the back end part. Like that's something that we don't realize as collectors too, because again, a lot of time we end up putting stuff in shelves and in walls that you kind of forget that it's a 3-dimensional thing, So
I like being able to walk around the Star Destroyer. It's badass.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly that's part of.
We'll never know, Sean. We'll never know.
I mean, it's so big. You have to walk around. You can't have this wall. Like that thing is amazing. It's like wow.
Well, hopefully, Sean, you can get down here and see it sometime, buddy.
I will. I'll make sure. I'm gonna make a time to get down there. I want to do that.
You're welcome. You're invited out to my place anytime.
I appreciate it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you literally need to like 3D print a little license plate that says "badass" on that, and just put it on the end of the. Right. Just so like when people walk around it, they have a reason to walk around it, Just
to find it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get nervous though when there's too many. And the most I've had in here was like when Gabe and them were here. Yeah, there was a few of them, but
here, let me bring that up because I was like, I did that whole thing. Let me see if I could find it.
Yeah, we never showed any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video like and post like kind of a whole, the whole thing. But like, check this out, like. Because that was one of the things that I wanted to do when going to Michael's house, is I wanted to show the scale because a lot of times it gets lost. But like,
Mike, have you got the
like that's Lee walking right next to it. It's just massive, and I think at one point I asked Michael, I'm like, "Hey, can you like get close to it and like point something at it?" See there, watch. There's Michael, and see See if this is the video. It might be the one after. But I mean, the scale is so massive, and look at, I mean,
look at that, yeah. Yeah, I saw the original years ago at the down here in downtown LA. That's my favorite thing is having that falcon on the back.
Yeah, that was a last minute deal we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I could find the one where you're like walking around it.
Mike, have you got the light issue fixed?
No, like it ain't gonna be fixed until
like this. Look at
that thing! Holy crap!
Like when I walked in, I was like, "Holy shit, that's huge!"
Look how tiny Michael is.
And I've seen it so many times, like on Collection Wars and Michael's pictures, but not until you get next to it can you like appreciate the scale of it. You know?
Yeah.
See how those lights are solid? It's badass, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look right
look how big this. Look at
that foot. That's sick.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, a lot of Michael's stuff, because of the scale, like they're beautiful things, but the scale gets lost in video, you know, and photos.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, like that medical frigate. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Was it like 12 feet long, Michael?
10 feet.
10 feet. Good Lord.
Beautiful.
It really is. Like,
yeah, that's exciting to have that piece.
Yeah, I think the medical frigate is probably my favorite of all of it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to detail and stuff, it's still the Avenger for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely most iconic. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, this is when I was asking Michael. I was like, "Hey, Michael, can you like stand next to it to get a scale?"
Dude, I just worry someone's shirt's gonna snag on a piece or something like.
Oh, bro, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, like for example, like
So
right
the
there,
plug's gonna be painted black. They just haven't done it yet.
I'm holding it at like face level, my phone. So like, it's just as tall as I am. You know.
Wow, and the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Michael,
So, Michael, are they as blue in person, or is it the video?
No, it's blue.
No, they're blue. Yeah,
okay. That's cool.
Hey, Michael, let me ask you a question. Did you ever think that you would have studio scale size ships ever?
Great question. Yeah. Right.
No, and when I was I was ever introduced to it, Sean, I saw a YouTube video and it was Kurt Kuhn showing his X-Wing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Y'all remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I just, I haven't talked to Kurt too. We got really close for a while, and he got sick, and hasn't been able to. But when I got a hold of Modeler Magic, Sean, are you familiar with Modeler Magic?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of went off the grid. It's still posting and stuff. I just haven't been on there in years, but it's just, it's just like we've talked about so many times since I'm just going to say it. Since Gabe and I started this show, we really put it on another level of knowledge, I should say, where people knew a little bit more about it, because I didn't know anything about it till I saw that video and knew it was even a thing. And it had been around for a long time. Back in 2010 and 2009, you mentioned Richard Long. He was one of the original guys that were doing those things.
Yeah, I did a lot of research on him. I like kind of looked up him, like where it started, and it was just, to me, that was, again.
But and finding, Sean, as you may know now, finding the people that have what it takes to build these models, not everybody, has what it takes to do it, and has the knowledge, but getting the kits is one thing, and then having it built properly is another, because these things don't come with instructions. They don't,
Yeah.
So, and that makes it really hard if you're, like the Skyhopper was, Gabe built it, did a kick-ass job, but it came with instructions. You know what I mean? So,
well, and also like I think that's another thing is like I think it's kind of it's like a kind of a rarity that you get people that collect and build things. Mm-hmm. It always impresses me, like with you, Michael and Gabe, like Michael, you'll do the dioramas, and you put the time in on a lot of things, and then Gabe as well. Like I know that you built your haunted carbonate originally, and like
thanks to you.
oh, I was fishing for
Thanks,
that.
Brad. Thank you.
But no, I mean, it really is. It kind of puts it on another level because it makes it more intimate of like what you know about it and what you're willing to do to create it for yourself.
And the research that you put into it, right? You put probably more hours researching than actually working on the thing, and then like all of a sudden you're an expert on this topic, right? Because you research.
And then you transition into. I'm sorry, Johnny. Just you transition into being a complete jerk because then you can like go, oh well, that's not right. Oh, that's not. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry, I didn't give you.
No. Go ahead. I was gonna ask Mike. So the last time I saw I guess you can consider the behind the scenes, the entrance to your second house there. Now you have a lot of space, right? Since you moved everything out to the restaurant.
Oh, good question. Yeah. He spilled it.
Filled it with different toys.
Yeah, it's a problem. So I'm actually right now in the process of where the gallery is, Johnny. You know, there's an area where you could put like 4 cars inside there. That I'm completely doing old reclaimed wood, and I haven't even told Gabe this. Actually, my wife doesn't even know yet. But I'm building the. You know how y'all saw the end boxes, like kind of like how this is. It's a. I don't know if y'all remember, but yeah, you see how that's built like that. So I'm building. I'm really into these vintage dirt bikes, these 70s and 80s, early 80s dirt bikes. So I'm building these square tube things, and it's going to be old, like I said, old reclaimed wood. And I'm putting these dirt bikes inside those things. Because I'm going to have a sauna in there. So you see, I got my cars in there, and then a wall of my dirt bikes. Isn't that badass?
So eventually, Michael's going to have a house that he puts his other house inside.
Yeah, Johnny, I don't have 2 houses. I get your second house. It's not a second.
Yeah, it's a recessed wall with his house set inside that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I kid.
You know the problem? I feel like I'm never going to be organized here, and I want so bad. Jens has come out and his wife to help me, and I feel like I'm back where I want so freaking bad to be organized, and I'm not. I got shit everywhere, and not like I hope Joseph's watching. Not like Joseph shit everywhere, but no, but it's different. I've got so. I wouldn't say that I'm a pack rat, but I've got a lot of stuff like in whether it was my mom's, like even old pots and pans that I remember as a kid, her making pasta in, so I don't want to throw them out. You know, just I've got so much stuff, and I just want to come home and my tools be where they need to be. You know, I want everything in its place.
There's Joseph is one.
I had to name drop that.
Hey Joseph, how does that bus feel going right over top of you? Like, you know.
Yes, exactly. But not to get off too much, but Brad brought up a topic that I forgot about, and Gabe's one who told me about it, and then I reached out to Jeff. But so Jeff's collection, for a lot of you guys might know Jeff, a lot of you guys might not. Sure. But Jeff's collection, his first collection, all of his collections look the same when it comes to museum style. But that is what initially, it's before I knew Gabe, but that is what initially gave me the inspiration to be like, hey, it would be nice to display, because you got to think about it, guys. Everybody puts their stuff like we have right now behind the show, but not many people created like a gallery style. So when I saw Jeff's collection, I was like, holy shit, I want that. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, but how can I do it that's not copycatting him and put my own little thing in it? And that's when I thought, we'll just, create the Death Star, just, but it's different, you know what I mean? And it wasn't easy to do, but I'll never forget the inspiration I got from that guy, and now.
I was no, go ahead and finish your story, but another inspiration that he brought on.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that too. Yeah, if we will.
Yeah,
we'll do. No, okay. Yeah. So Not like Brad though, right, Gabe? No, I'm just kidding, Brad. No, yeah, but no, seriously though, he just, I just remember seeing how all that stuff was, and I was because I've always been, had a pretty nice sized vintage collection, but when I saw that, I was just, I don't know, I was just, and why? Because he focused just on that, mostly, anyways.
Yeah. His collection makes anybody's dick shrink. Like it's one of those. It really is. It's one of those things that you're just like. And I really hope that when it sells, I would love for it to go to one person that they just.
That's what I think, Brad. I hope so too. And I reached out to him about it. I haven't talked to him, but yeah, it'd be a crime if he separates all that shit.
Well, it's going to get separated, but you never know who's going to actually end up buying it all. And God bless him, because he doesn't need the money, so it's just about him coming to a point in his life where it's like, I get it. Like, dude, if you that size of a collection, like,
well, it's almost like think about the feeling, right? Like as a collector, like he completed it, like he's like mission complete. Like where do you go from there, right? So at that point, sell it, start a different collection, because it is about the hunt, right? I mean, I think a lot of us will agree. Part of the collecting bug is the hunt, and like trying to collect them all and trying to catch them all.
Yeah, but his hunt was real. Like his hunt was like, I need everything on card perfectly in pristine. Like his collection is so untouchable. Like you don't even want to touch it because that's how beautiful it is. Like Michael, I love your stuff because it's like you're walking into a real museum. His stuff is like, I don't even want to touch that. It's like touching a Mona Lisa or something. And like, it's like,
Jeff and I are friends, and like I honestly, it's like one of those those life goals. I just wanted to go and have a drink in that collection and just bask in it and just look around, and like it's all I ever wanted. But like, I mean, God bless him for like.
Yeah, he built some badass houses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's tell you guys the little back end. So of course he's inspired, he inspired Michael as far as, hey, like setting up a gallery and stuff. But he also inspired this show, or the name of this show.
Yeah.
Because early on, I was, it was when everyone, all you guys were joking around with me because I was posting TikToks. But all the TikToks were going viral, right? And one of them was me walking into the collection room and just panning, and somebody on there commented like, "Oh no, you know what? Someone did like a duet of mine," and then it's like some girl. She's
it was his daughter.
His daughter. And it was like, oh, that's nothing. Look at my dad's collection, right? Or no, look at my collection, or something like that.
It was pretty bad, and he was apologetic about it.
Yeah,
we had him on the show afterwards, but watching that, a total fucking disrespect.
Yeah, but like, you know what? It wasn't like I wasn't disrespected or anything like that. I was like, whatever. Michael was like,
I was pissed. I was like, man, what the fuck?
He's like, I'm gonna call Jeff right now and tell him.
Yeah.
I was like, no, man, relax. Like, let's like, you know what?
I was surprised. I was shocked.
We don't want to start like a collection war or anything like that.
That's how it started right there.
Shit.
Fast forward like a couple weeks after, we're like, all right, so we're gonna do this, this podcast. Like, we're gonna do it. Like, what should we name it? We're throwing names, and Michael's like, I got it. And you came up with it a couple weeks ago. He's like, Collection Wars, and I was like,
yeah, and then one of our first guests was Jeff.
Jeff.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And like, I know, like, Michael, you're always the one guy who will always say like someone's humble. Like, he really is.
Thank you.
One of the most humble people, and like, and so your words ring so true to a lot of to him especially. Like, he is such a humble person when it comes to like vintage, especially vintage figures. But I didn't even know the things he had past the Star Wars, like
the G.I. Joe,
the Transformers, Mask, Ninja Turtles. Like,
I never knew that.
Yeah,
it's so amazing.
So, but yeah, I think I saw you post that, Brad, recently. That's like, has anyone seen people kind of getting rid of their stuff? And I agree with you. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people get. And look, I mean, I just did that recently, right? Like I'm kind of refocusing like what I love, and I think that's what it is. I think it's still we're kind of coming down from the 2020, hoarding and like collecting and everyone trying to like catch up and create their own spaces, where now that it's like we're well into like back to the real world, back to life. And I think a lot of people are now starting to either refocus, kind of like I am, or kind of they just got over it because they're like, you know what, like I got work.
And those weren't the real collectors anyways. They're just kind of like they got into it because they were bored. They were just bored.
Oh, they got
so far from just read far from what he just said right now, Brad. Exactly what Brad just said right there.
Yeah,
the trend collectors.
And what's funny, that's exactly what it was. And especially because, and look, props where props are due. Rogue 1-6.
Yeah, right? That Matt guy. What was his name? Matt.
Who?
That was on their show. Was it Matt?
Matt, yeah.
Yeah, he was a trend collector.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, no. I'm saying
I'm not being mean. I'm just
no. I'm saying like that show, like during the shutdown during 2020, right? I mean, that was one of the shows that kind of kicked off this trend of like, hey, let's collect everything and let's try to like, build it. And obviously like we started showcasing the collections, right? Which was a little different than what they're doing. They were showcasing their own collections. We're like, let's showcase everyone else's collections, right? And I think as those shows started coming up, and then like, obviously like Spice Runners and, all these shows that came about, I think really did influence a big group of people into collecting.
You did. I can honestly tell you, it's a couple other guys too. And like you guys, like Michael and y'all, you did inspire a lot of people to be like, yo, I'm refocusing in my stuff to look a little bit more cleaner. And I did myself, because watching y'all, I was like, yo, I want to rework my thing to where it actually works for me and I'm happy with it. And I mean, again, you do have trend collectors like, oh, I'm gonna get in this, but then it won't last long because it's a lot of money. You gotta do
and it sucks because, and those are usually, I'm not disrespectful like to Johnny or anything, but there's a lot of it's usually the younger crowds that weren't around like Brad and me and Gabe and you know what I mean? But no, Johnny, I'm being real, dude. I'm not saying that a younger person can't, be in it and love it like we can, maybe even more. I'm just saying the norm of it is your OGs.
No, and you're right, because one thing I like to ask like my new coworkers or people that I'm fond of, that are new in my life at least. I like to ask them, so when you're growing up, what did you do? Da 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 da. Oh, we would do this or that, right? And I like to ask them, so did you ever see Star Wars the first time? And like, what was your experience? And I like to hear it all the time. It's like, that was something we never saw, da 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 da. And it's true, there's something about the original people who grew up with it compared to my generation. Because, I mean, now the kids have iPads. I grew up with toys at least, and y'all grew up with, paper mache stuff.
Sticks and stones.
Well, Johnny, when Mike and I were young kids, the Earth was just still cooling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the dinosaurs were like still wearing.
Brad, how old are you, Brad? I don't even know how old are you.
51.
Nice. Okay, brother.
Yeah.
Nice.
The stone and chisel.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, take it easy.
Yeah, I met my wife.
I'm a stone and chisel dude too. I'm 46, so I'm up there.
Yeah. I smacked my wife over the head and drug her into a cave, and we were married at that point. Yeah.
No, but no, it is true though. A lot of things go for granted, and like going back to what Gabe was saying, especially with COVID, a lot of people thought they were gonna die. So it's like, screw it, we're gonna get everything we can, and a lot of things have settled. And I think the market is coming down.
And that's what an interesting thing is. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that time during COVID where people were just sitting around. They thought that just collecting, like, because you hear about that, you hear about this, like that was a thing, and like that's interesting because like where were they 10 years ago? Like what made it really sit in now? Like when they did it.
Well, that's
And I think you said.
Oh,
I think you said it, Brad. People sat, and a lot of people don't sit.
But like honestly, like we're busy. Gabe, we're all busy people. So like what really set it off for those people? Like Gabe and Mike and I, and probably you and Sean as well. Like just don't sit around thinking about, like, gosh, what can I do now? Like on a day-to-day basis. So we're all busy. Like what really was it for that? Because it was a huge surgence of people.
You know what it was too? I think it was a sense of like community, right? It was a sense of belonging too. And again, I think that is what the YouTube shows ended up doing, right? Or the Facebook groups too, right? It created this sense of community around collecting. And a lot of the newbies that hadn't collected for a long time are like, hey, like I want to be a part of that community. And thinking that the way they become part of the community is to buy that stuff, which is that's not the case, right? We're all Star Wars fans. I mean, I think Johnny's a perfect example. It's like Johnny doesn't collect like the, big old life-size things or studios come on, but we became really good friends. And like, he's embraced in the community, not because he collects similar things, but because his passion for Star Wars. But I think that's what happened. I think a lot of people, when shows, including us, I think wanted to be part of that community.
That's a great take. Yeah, I know. I don't think you're far off. I think that's probably very accurate.
For me, Gabe, it was, I've always been a Star Wars collector, but I have never had a community to actually be a part of. And again, for me, I'm a black kid. Look, I'm a black guy. Listen, it's different. It's a little bit different. So for me, I felt, wow, there's a community and there's a lot of people here that I can actually be a part of. And watching Collection Wars and even Spice Runners and watching that, I'm like, damn, I could be a part of that. Like, that's nice. And I still have my collection of stuff that I love. And I think that was a good part. I think as we look at it, COVID was okay. It was bad, but there were a lot of things that happened that were really nice. And was like, man, like we all got to sit in the house and we all got to actually enjoy whatever we have of each other and got to see things and got to see things. And it's like, wow, like I can now be a part of a Star Wars group and see what you guys are collecting and watch that. Now, again, you have people who are, sometimey collectors, but the real collectors are there. And we see that all the time. When you see pictures from everybody, I pretty much know who the real Star Wars collectors are and who the ones aren't really, going to be in and out.
It's like the heat of the moment. Yeah.
Oh, and it's also crazy to like all the people that aren't even like they're watching, but they're not, maybe they're not interacting as much. I think Sean, you're a great example. I mean, you obviously you watch, but you're not always interacting on the comments or anything like that.
No.
Sometimes, but
last week the guy came up to us at the show that
so at the convention. Well, even it just reminded me this weekend because I took my kids to go watch Despicable Me 4, and the director of that, which he also directed all the other Minions movies and all that, he reached out one time. He emailed me and was like,
Chris.
"Hey, Chris," and he's like, "I love, what you guys are doing. I'm a collector." He started sharing pictures of stuff that he collected, and it's just like, wow, like,
what?
That's crazy. Like this guy's like, one of the top directors, really. I mean, he directed like all those animations.
There's actually others too.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever shared this? Like what?
I think
you just got to be respectful to the people.
Yeah,
you don't want to shout them out.
Yeah. But still,
that's awesome. That's cool though. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that are collectors that you'll never know. They just have the collections, and it's like they just keep it quiet. It's like they probably watch these shows, and they're just like they're not gonna chime in because they're like I'm so and so. It's like they just enjoy it. They're normal people.
Jens is working.
Michael, it's Scott. Scott's in here.
Okay, good to see you. Yeah, I asked him if he's ever chimed in. I'm glad you chimed in, man. It was great for me and Gabe to meet you in person. You're a super cool dude. Yeah, Jens is working on an actor right now that's into 6 scale.
Yeah. I mean, because Gabe, I'm in real estate in LA, and it's like I know a lot of celebrities that collect, and it's like you'll just never know. You'll never see their collection because they don't need it broadcast. Right. And it just is what it is. But I mean, it's yeah.
I gotta move my stand real quick, guys. My battery's gonna die. Hang on.
I'm gonna say I do love to broadcast it because for me, I have a different mentality. When I go to like a con or like a show or something like that, and I talk to people, some people don't believe that I'm a Star Wars collector, and then it's like, you get that kind of like, I'm deep into Star Wars. I love it so much, and people don't believe it sometimes. People are like, "Oh, let me see your collection," and I'm like, "For my collection," I'm like, "This is what I have," and they're like, "Holy shit! Like this is like amazing." It's like amazing, but I love that feeling because in a weird way I love to be underestimated, and another way I love to be like, well, I'm a Star Wars collector too. Don't look at me just because I am who I am, a 6 foot tall black dude. Don't get that. Like I need you to know that I bleed Star Wars. And
it is kind of rare. You don't see it very often, but I think it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, for saying that because it is a rare thing, and it's like there are some out there. There's a lot of dudes out there, but it's good to
I'm a 6 foot white guy, and I swear to God, no one ever believes that I'm a Star Wars collector. I mean, I don't know where it comes from. Where they're like, what?
It's the height. Maybe it's the
height. I could say this: there's definitely been a culture change because growing up for me, Star Wars, I wouldn't say they would pickle me, but they would be like, "Oh, that's this or that," But it wasn't like, "Oh, that's cool." And I have to say, it wasn't until that little green guy came on screen that everyone was like, "What is Star Wars? We love Star Wars." And I'm like, "What?"
Well, Gabe doesn't know that little green guy. It's Yoda, Gabe. It's Yoda.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a character. It's a new character in the Star Wars universe.
Not a fan.
Brad, I know you probably know on the backside of things, but Gabe's a bigger Yoda fan than you may know.
Shoot.
Trust me.
I don't think I even want to know what that means.
No, just trust me. Sorry, Gabe. I just had to say it. But anyway, but hey, I'm just going to tell you guys honestly right now. I don't know, Sean, and it'd be great to do a show. But I'd love to. I don't know. Are you is that a phone or a computer?
No, I'm on my computer. Yeah, I got a computer.
Man, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you got back there. It looks really good.
Michael, you read my mind. I'm like, I want to see more. I want to see more.
It's not a lot. It's enough though. What I see is enough. I can walk around a little bit.
Yes,
it is a little messy over here too. At the same time,
put it on the big screen.
Like it gets.
Do you still have a?
It gets
like with that poster.
Yeah. Well. These are like
this is a show, Gabe. We met.
I know, right?
It gets a little crazier because over here is all my original. These are original Star Wars posters.
Okay, real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sean.
Yes,
We're going to go ahead and make this the deal. This is Sean's collection, and Gabe's got to start it off with the saying. Go ahead, Gabe.
I didn't want to go deep into it though.
Gabe's going to ask you now. What got you into Star Wars as a kid? What's your experience? Your Star Wars experience?
Oh, my experience.
Dave's got to say it though.
I know, man. So yeah, what got you into collecting Star Wars, and what was your first Star Wars experience?
I'm a sci-fi kid. Like I'm an artist too. So what I loved from Star Wars was just being a kid, a geek, and loving art and loving everything that McQuarrie did originally. Yeah. So watching that and being an artist, and loving the posters and loving everything from it. That's what kind of started me from being a Star Wars and just loving everything about it. So to be honest, that's really because I'm an artist. So like it's all art. George Lucas was an artist. He's a creator. He's like, Steven Spielberg. Those are creators, and always wanted to be one of those kind of guys. But for me as a kid, I couldn't do any of that. So I just wanted to be an artist. So I became an artist, and that's where it started, to be honest. You know?
That's awesome,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah, it's crazier, but I don't want to go too far into it, but like it gets deeper. So I got like
No, we want to go deep.
I got this is my gentle giant. This is my gentle giant.
Oh,
I'm real
say the
familiar
story,
with
bros.
that.
Say the story. How you got that?
So I got this. I actually found it's in Delaware. It was deep in Delaware. A guy sold it to me for like what, $500?
Oh my
No.
Yeah, yeah. Just recently too, not too long ago. And he
dude,
was
that is
selling
a
it.
badass find.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
finder.
like it's the droids version.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
droids version. Yeah. That's
Yep.
awesome.
It's Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars version.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Yeah, that's
Cool.
what it
Is it? Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's badass.
having I wanted one of those, so that was something cool. I mean, there's a lot of other art stuff that goes further up. It's like I got like a lot of art from like this is Jock, an artist, a comic book artist actually. I have all three of them going up. I don't have lights up there, so it's a little crazy, but
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
yeah.
Some nice posters.
Wait, let's see that pack.
What the
Wanna
pro?
see that?
Gabe, you got this. Gabe, you got this.
Oh, is it the Hasbro one? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the Hasbro one.
All right.
That's hard to believe. And by the way, Hasbro just got they hit their goal to do the Cantina.
Yeah. Let's see those vintage. Wait. Let's see.
Oh yeah. How is it?
Those are the baseball cases, right?
Yes. Michael, I'm changing all this up a lot. Mind you, this is all going to change in a couple
Yeah,
months.
but let me tell you something. They're displayed well, though, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I
So
love those.
I started from original trilogy, and I just worked my way all the way through to Empire, and then down
look,
here.
you got one of those Empire. You got one of those 30th anniversary classics.
Yes.
Nice.
Gabe, did you sell yours? Because I don't know. I bought this from a guy in California. I don't know.
I still have mine. I'm actually looking at it right now. I'm trying to figure out where to put it.
Hey, I tell you, Sean, I'm going to be honest with you. You said you're going to change those, but you're using it kind of as a shelf top to put the stuff on the top of it.
Right.
But those figures, just if you didn't have anything on top of those, I love that look. I think it's a really classy look.
I agree, Michael. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is mine when I was a little kid. So
Awesome,
that's the one that I actually still have. So that was cool.
That's
Oh man, it gets crazier down here, but I don't want to give people headaches. But like these are all original.
Hey, look at that Lawrence Noble, the Lawrence Noble art right there behind you.
Where? Let me see.
Empire Strikes Back when Lawrence Noble did that.
Oh, it sure the hell is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sean, what's right by your cap? What is that? Right,
This one, I got this for, you know what, Gabe kind of showed me how to do this. I put this actually into this was from the blueprints.
Yeah, from the blueprints.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I grabbed that, put that in the frame. I seen Gabe do it. I was like, you know what, let me do that.
That's
and then
awesome. Sean, that's awesome, dude.
Thank you. This was like these are some Dakota Bukier ones.
I love that Kudabakia. Yeah, I love that. Actually, Sean, I think Gabe did some work with those.
Yeah.
He probably did. These are the Regal robot pieces, stuff.
Those, yeah.
Is that that's Sideshow.
Yeah, Sideshow. This was that's from the Visions. I love that. It's a black and white. I love that piece. This is my little bit of Indiana Jones stuff that I love.
That's so cool, man.
Disney one?
Yeah, it's the Disney stuff. It's a lot of
you displayed it perfect. Yeah. Okay, so Regal Robot stuff.
Of course, Regal Robot. I love Phil Tippett. I have such a love for Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like it was like the end all. For me, it's just like I love it so much, and I love what they did as artists and what they created for movies. For me, it became what my childhood was. So, Industrial Light and Magic to me is like one of the, I love in my heart for everything.
You know what? I'm the same way.
Us too. I think we all talk about watching from Star Wars to Jedi more than the movies, themselves. The documentary.
This was the Disney parks thing I think they got, but I put all these little Disney park, little pieces on there. I'm still building around it. It's like still a thing that I got to work on, but
it looks good though, bro.
Thank you so much. This, Michael, you may love this. I built this, Michael, and it looks like crap, but I built this.
What?
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like crap.
Yeah, well, it's broken too in the back, so I got to fix it and everything like that. But like, I kind of built around it. It's all wood.
Dude,
Yeah. So
Man, that's awesome.
yeah. Oh man, let me see. Let me
What
keep
a
going.
privilege, Gabe.
I know.
This show's turned out to be,
I
man.
know.
C-3PO bust. You know,
Yeah.
everybody loves that. K2SO.
Yeah.
Love my
Yeah.
robots. This is actually a prop that was used in Andor. And it was the camera. It was actually one of the camera pieces that they actually used for that. It was actually a little binocular.
Nice.
How would you? Do you mind? How did you get it, Sean? Was it an auction or?
It was an auction. It was an auction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are just statues, all sideshow stuff. I love all the sideshow stuff.
And Luke, man.
Yeah, Luke. This was me as a little kid. Hold up, holding that same X-wing when I was a little kid.
That's great.
Yeah,
man.
that
Now
was.
this is what I want to see.
That's my favorite stuff, man.
So
Dude, that is awesome.
Dude, and how
You're dressed from
Andor.
Star Wars.
It looks like
Say it
you're
again?
dressed like from Andor. Like
Yeah.
you're- with the
that was
white-
my little.
Oh my gosh, dude, he does. That's hilarious.
So then, this was actually. So I'm working on the De Augustini Falcon.
Nice.
That this was actually a Hasbro. I actually weathered it. Hold on. I actually weathered it and painted it up and put all the colors on there. It's just a random thing I just kind of wanted to do because I don't have the Falcon I'm working on, so it's gonna take me a while to get that. So, and usually
Well, you got a good collection started on the models. I love your models.
thank you. I'll go over there in a second, and
Yeah,
then these are all my statues, pretty much all the sideshow stuff.
Sean, do you keep all the boxes or do you chunk them?
Man, I got them all folded up in storage.
Yeah, I know you're freaking Gabe out now. Right? I say that.
I don't like the boxes. It's too much.
I don't either, Sean. I don't either.
Yeah.
I do find myself keeping a few.
None of us like them, but
because you're only going to maximize a little bit of the profit if you actually ever plan to sell it, and if you do,
right.
Oh, she's
So
this
is my little, Leia, R2D2, C3PO. Those they belong together because they were the first ones that were on screen. So that's what I feel.
What Leia is that? Is that a sideshow Leia?
These are a sideshow, yeah. Well, both sideshow, all three sideshow.
Nice.
Let's see. Going forward,
you got the old Tumbadors.
Oh yeah, I found a buddy of mine who was
I've never heard of that.
An older collector. He had 2 of these left, so I just took them from him. I was like, you know what, let me have them. He gave them to me, so I use them for the display. It looks good for the display that I have.
It looks fantastic.
So there's a story behind this one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the story is, there was a guy on eBay who was selling this piece, and he offered it to me. He was like, "Hey, can you just come get it?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Okay, I'll come get it." He was in Virginia, and I'm in Delaware. It's about a 4-hour drive for me. I drove all the way down to Virginia, picked it up. He sold it to me for $250.
What? Is it custom? Like he made it?
He made it. Gabe, he put the lights was on here. If you can get it.
What?
Yeah, the lights were on here. I got to recharge.
Figure it
but
out.
The lights are on there. Everything again. He did a beautiful job. You see.
I mean, not even the panels front is $200. Like just
the panels are $900 now. Like.
And I just want to say real quick, I know y'all have had a lot of guests on Gabe and Mike, but y'all never will ever have another guest that has as many great deals as Sean. Because the dude literally has a lot of great deals.
I paid $250 for it. It weighs like 300 pounds though. It's so big. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, so then kind of leading down to the rest of it, this was like kind of life size. I found this.
Yeah, you got that for free, found in the garbage on the street.
A guy in Jersey was getting rid of it, and I think he was like for $500. I couldn't pass it up, so I just.
Can I say something? And I don't know this for sure, but I think when it comes to price point and like how Sean finds these deals, I mean, I'm saying this. I think it has a lot to do with where you're at around the United States.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, I really believe that. Because you ain't finding those deals here.
No,
Wait.
no. Everybody says that. Like, where do you live in Delaware? That everybody can like. I'm telling you, it is. I look and I search. It is. I'm a hunter. I do hunt. Like I'm a hunter
Yeah.
for stuff. And if I
That's a
find it, I get it. So I'll just like I don't hesitate on pulling the trigger. So I'll definitely pull the trigger.
Nice.
He got these statues for $4 off.
No. This one I can't remember where I got this one from. This was Sideshow one. This was Sideshow.
Is that the Master Replicas signature edition Princess Leia or the LE?
Oh no. We're gonna get there, Gabe. We'll get there. So this is my favorite right here. This is the McQuarrie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have those two. I have the Stormtrooper, but I wanted Boba Fett in that one. I don't have them.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody actually is selling it, Michael. I'll actually send you a link to it if he gives a good price on it. I don't know, but
yeah, I think I appreciate it, man. I'm right now.
Yeah, I get
what I mean? Statue wise, I need room.
So then it's the XM. Hold up, XM11. Yeah, beautiful piece. I really love that piece.
Yes.
So, and then Gabe, this was a door that just got opened not too long ago, but there was a local guy, who was selling a lot of his master replica stuff, and I couldn't pass it up. I was like, it's not the signature editions though; it's just the regular editions. But the lights are kind of bright. But like, I ended up getting like all 3 of these, which ones I wanted anyway, because I'm not really a big lightsaber guy. Yeah. But I just get them just to get them. But like, these were the blasters that I wanted, so I got the blasters, and then I built this blaster myself. This was from I forgot, Blast Factory.
Blast Factory, yeah.
So I built this one myself, and then this one I've actually had this for a while, and then everything else, this was from the company that's no longer around. But I got this. I got this master replicas. I'm into the old Kenner stuff. I'm into the old Kenner stuff. So these are the old Kenner. Yeah. And then this one, I knew
Brad's kind of shit.
Yeah. Then you and Michael were you and Michael were talking about this, but it comes off. So I love that piece. Let's see.
Make sure your piece is okay, dude. We're all collectors here, dude.
It's there. It's all right. It's on the rug.
Who cares if we're live, dude? Pick that shit.
It's good. It's good.
Because that's actually a screen use piece, right? It's a found parts piece.
Right. So yeah, but it's in good. It's in good shape. It's good.
It was.
I remember as a kid super gluing that shit because it fell off all the time.
And they actually used that TIE fighter in the back of Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So that's what I didn't even know till Gabe told me. And then there was that picture of George Lucas with all of them on the board.
So then we get here to like the studio scale stuff. I guess it's studio scale. Like I don't go through the whole thing of it. It is what it is. But
Force Labs one.
To me, that's the Force Lab one. It's a beautiful piece though. Like it's a really beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Yeah.
Huge.
And then that was, from the other company, which was again a nice piece for me. I'm fine with it. I'm not mad about it. I built this piece myself and weathered it. This was like a Bandai kit that I had kind of weathered. Nice. So I do like it, at times
like too. To that
cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
All right, Sean's got some skills too.
Yeah, no. I then here goes the other one to that company that used to be around.
We could say MIC. Look, Michael.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So, but I put little Kenner pieces on there because I love in the Chronicles book. There's like little figures on top of it. Yeah. And I wanted to kind of redo that, like to have the figures on top of this little piece because I love the model of it. I love the design of it. So I really wanted that to kind of showcase on that. So
that reminds me of the animatics that they did with like the speeder bike that they did for Return of the Jedi. They actually used the action figures for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I built this TIE fighter.
I love the plaque, the AT-AT door behind the AT-AT. How you display that looks really cool.
Right there.
Those are really cool wall plaques.
Yeah.
Are those prints or are they?
They're actually models.
These things weigh like 50 pounds. These things are heavy.
So cool.
Hell. Very, very heavy.
And they came with the frame, right?
Yeah. It came with the frame and everything.
And he just awesome. You're just not going to find this shit anywhere else.
No, that's Michael. That's why I bought it. I was like, you're not going to find it.
And I'm going to tell you, I've never, we didn't really talk about it, but I really think, Gabe and I haven't discussed it, but I think because he's no longer going to be around, I think that stuff's going to skyrocket in price.
It probably will. You know what? To me, to me, for me,
I
it's
know,
something
I know that. I know. Because like the icons, look what icons those models. I remember when Gabe bought that TIE fighter that one time.
Yeah.
So I built this one. This is my build. I built this myself. The base I actually found on Etsy. And I put a hole in it, and I wanted to give it this kind of base.
Yeah.
Is that a Hasbro?
Huh?
Is it a Hasbro model?
This is an AMT kit.
No, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I painted it and weathered it and put all the stuff on there. And to me, when I build something like that, for me, that's something that like I hold dear to my heart because I could never build nothing like that years ago. So now that is accessible and available. I can now build stuff that I love. And then
is that a basement?
Yes, it is a basement. Yeah.
Was it a bitch getting that Star Wars game in there or no?
No. Actually, I built it up, so it was actually easy because they come in pieces. So
nice.
That really helps.
You built it, yeah.
Again, these are like little models I built myself and weathered them and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, this was a Disney Parks thing. So
is that a Macquarie Falcon?
No, this is actually from Solo. Actually,
I was gonna say I look like the Solo.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually the Solo. I'm trying to give you a little.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Solo one I built and weathered it. Came out cool.
Yeah, it has hints of Macquarie in it.
It does. Yeah. And then the Y-wing, which I love because of one of my favorite ships. I just love it. Yeah. So yeah.
Michael, doesn't the Y-wing always remind you of the Starboard toy?
Oh my God, yes, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I have the Starbird at Dark Side.
Dark Side, yeah. Doesn't it always remind me of it? I always wanted that Starbird to be able to put a figure in it, but you could never do it. Yeah.
Do you remember this? Did you have it, Brad?
Oh, so yeah, I had it, and I never had the black version of it, but it was so cool, like how you could like go up.
Yeah, you down. Hold it up, it goes.
It just always like you couldn't put a figure in it. That's the only thing.
I know. So I always never had them at the Space 1999. Same thing.
You guys made me do a room tour before I want to do a room tour, but so
that's right.
Hey, Sean, what a treat on this show, dude. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys.
Thank you for that, Sean. And I commend you because you weren't lying, Sean. You really did let go of a lot of other franchise stuff you had, and you really stuck to Star Wars.
I used to have like Batman animated series stuff, all kind of stuff. Like, and I got rid of everything. It wasn't for me anymore. And my love for Star Wars was just over trump everything. And I had some really nice like 80s cartoon statues and stuff. It wasn't for me anymore. And I was just like, you know what? I just want all Star Wars. So
well, it's kind of what Gabe was talking about. It's like you kind of get to a point where you just kind of culminate down to what you really love, Yeah.
And when I sell my stuff, I sell it for what I pay for it. I don't sell it for over crazy prices because I wanted to go to somebody who appreciates it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Exactly. And for me,
that's the hard part sometimes, though. Like at selling it at a regular price, because you have to vet the person. There's been times where on the RPF or on like Rebel Scum or whatever, I'll sell something thinking like, oh, it's going to a good collector. I'm going to sell it under cost or like at cost, and immediately see it on eBay. Where one time I had to call them out. I'm like, yo, like I just sold it to you for like, it was a Darth Vader helmet that had the Rogue One Vader sign it. What's his name? I forgot his name. Spencer Wild. Spence. But anyways, it was clearly my helmet that I just sold him. I just saw it on eBay, and he was selling it for like $1,500. I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, I literally just sold it to you because I thought you were a collector. Like,
yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. I'm happy you jumped on, and I'm really glad you were able to show us your collection, man. That's
Thank
really
you
cool.
guys, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. I really thank you guys a lot, man, for a lot you guys doing for the community and everything else, man. Thank you guys a lot, for real.
Man.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate that. And Michael and I, we've been talking about that, and we were like, you know what, like we kind of want to go back to the roots, right? Like get back to like what we started Collection Wars for, which was for collections, right? And like to showcase collections and really kind of just inspire people. And like again, look, that's the craziest thing. I think I'm a perfect example too. Like the collection starts getting bigger, 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 and I trim it back down to my original collection. This is literally, I'm almost back down to my collection pre-COVID. So I mean, it goes to show it's like collect what you love, display it well, and you're gonna be happy with it for forever.
Yeah.
Man.
That's another thing. Is like, I mean, is the displaying it. It's like that's 90% of it. If you throw all this crap just on a shelf from Target, it looks like crap. Like it just looks like a bunch of shit. But you know, if you curate it,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Curating it, and that's not everybody can't do that because I don't think everybody understands what a curation is.
Right.
Well, but see, I kind of disagree because I think there's enough things out there like Collection Wars that have shown enough, and you literally you can go to IKEA and spend. Like if you're spending $1,000 on a few statues, you can spend $200 on the cases for them. Like literally, like it's just like it's one of the things that just kind of frustrates the hell out of me when I see someone who goes, you know, because I'll always like go on YouTube and just put in like Star Wars collections or toy collection or whatever, and like you see it and it's like. It's in this dingy basement that looks like a freaking boiler room from Freddy Krueger.
There's not everybody wants to do that though. Not everybody has the visions.
That's what I was like.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, there's enough things out there that they can at least look at.
Look right at all the collections out there, and we have a certain group. Like if this was a Black Series Hasbro show or something, we'd probably have 250,000 subscribers, but we have a very limited, selection of people that are into the high end shit. And, but I know what you're saying too. But yeah, it's not everybody has that. That's what's so unique about a lot of the people that are on our show, and we've respectfully shown I know there's some good ones out there we haven't seen, but we've shown some of the best collections out there.
Yeah, and I was going to say like that's interesting that you say that, Michael, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody on Collection Wars that doesn't have a well curated collection. And it's like I don't know if it's like they curate it before they get there or it's after, but like it really is like a group of people that really know how to display things just in general.
I think to me, if you're coming on here and you see Gabe's and Michael's collection, you have to show yourself the respect to them to have a well curated collection and not just have it all over the place, because you guys kind of set that precedent of, okay, well, this is what theirs looks like. This is what, and you come in, you can't have your shit all over the place. Just
know though, Sean, just know this though. And I know you know this, and I know definitely Brad does.
It's not a pissy match.
We don't care though. We see all kinds because like you know how to build these models. Some people don't know how to build models. Some just don't have what it takes. And you know that anyways. But I'm just saying, it's just we're lucky that we have that vision of, and we actually anybody can do it, right? But not everybody cares.
But that's the point, right? That's the point of the show, is to show people like, hey, like this is another way you could display it. This is another way you can do it. This is how, like you said, a lot of people recognize my collection.
Thousands of people
from the internet, right? That door shot, right, of it opening up, and people are always surprised. I'm like, dude, it's just IKEA. They're IKEA. Their best says like you can have the same setup for a couple $100 if you wanted it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's we'll never gatekeep that stuff here, right? And that's.
And I was just about to say that. Yeah.
I'll always share like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I do it. Michael's the same way. Immediately when Michael's talking about the lights. Lee shared some stuff and like the little
Lee never shares anything.
Lee.
Yeah, a little hesitant, but he will.
But if you take a snapshot of this interaction right now, like Gabe's, Michael's, mine, Sean, and Johnny's is all different. It's all different, and it's like it's how you want to, or what you can afford, and what you can do. And the thing is, like, I think the biggest thing is like you don't have to do it all at one time. Like, take your time and just enjoy it. Enjoy.
Listen, Brad, I'm going to stop you right now because I remember walking out of this gallery when it was in the wood frame stage, and my daughter saying exactly what you said. This is my middle-aged daughter says, "Dad, why in a hurry?" She said, "Enjoy the ride."
Yeah.
This is my daughter telling me that. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, damn. So you said it. Enjoy it. You don't have to
enjoy it.
Because then when you're done, then what the hell, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is like, especially with the collection, it's like you want to enjoy it. You want to have those times. And it's like, yeah, I guess you want to rush to like then share it, but then like share it in increments. Exactly. I remember Gabe and you. So Michael, I remember you posted the one thing I remember, like when you were building your gallery. The one thing that always stands out to me is where your Death Star is. You initially had your Vader melted helmet.
Yeah.
In that space.
Yeah.
So I remember like you posting that. This was like what, 8 years ago or so.
Time flies. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and I remember like seeing that. I was like, oh, this is badass. I can't wait to see like how it all plays out.
Yeah, you see on what was it, Modeler Magic? What's the what you just talked about? Kurt's. Yeah, and Gabe had that old. It's like the lost footage, and it's cool because this is all painted white in here and black. Yeah. I love the way it looked. That was when it was in primer stage. It's badass.
Yeah. Well, and with Gabe, the biggest thing I remember with his was like the Emperor chair. That's the one thing I remember always seeing that. I was like, and then knowing what that Emperor chair cost, and that I'd probably just ruin it with farts. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to buy that thing. And it's like. But I remember like just seeing it, and it was an iconic thing in his collection, and it just grew, and it's just like, but it wasn't done. It was like he had it the way he wanted it at that time, and it just kind of keeps going and going and going.
Brad,
are you selling it?
I was like, Brad, I might know a guy that has one that will sell it to you in the car.
I was going to ask Gabe, you going to sell yours?
I mean, like I said, I don't need to. Like, it's just right now. I'm sure my wife would appreciate that because, again, it's just in our bedroom now, just like in a corner.
Oh, that's hilarious!
And it's massive. Like, it's not
like sit in a chair.
Huge. It's a big ass.
It's like 4 feet across, right?
It's a wide chair. Like, I could normally like sit like sideways on it, and my legs, go over the edge.
I'm just impressed of
there's a chair in the bedroom, Gabe. That's a little weird, dude. Is it in the corner so you can sit there?
I was like,
Michael, he sits there and goes, "You want this, don't you?"
I like spin.
Like,
sorry,
in
trouble.
I had to. Sorry, Gabe. Baby's watching. She knows I'm playing.
So you would have to sell it locally, right?
Yeah, you could ship that thing. Well, so Gabe's only like he's in San Diego. I'm in LA, but
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, like I'm in maybe one day, once the kids are old and if we're still in this place, like I said, there's a gigantic room upstairs that I would love to take that my daughter has.
Texas.
I know, right? So
I want to see you appropriate that room.
The what?
I want to see you appropriate your daughter's room. Yeah,
I should swap her room.
Yeah, they have words and shit.
It has like double doors like into it, and it's like basically 2 full bedrooms like all in one. Yeah. Like
so have your wife submit an eminent domain to your child, and I just know.
Like I'm taking it over, get evicted. But yeah.
Well, so Gabe, so you were asking about like recent acquisitions, and the one thing that I had that I think you'll appreciate. So when I went to go see Return of the Jedi, I saw it in Seattle, and I remember buying this collector's thing at the popcorn counter.
Yeah.
And I went into the theater, and they had this whole thing, and it just kind of like you thumb through it. And I remember like holding it in the theater, and the only thing you can see is the front and the back. And I remember sitting there, and I was 83, so I was 10 years old, and I remember like literally wanting to open it, and I didn't, because I didn't want to have spoilers. I just wanted to go into it cold. But so I just recently got this, and it was like such a huge, like, I mean, it was like $5, on eBay. And I was like, but it was such a moment of like, I haven't held this in 41 years.
Yeah.
And just like having it there, and like, oh, because I remember then like thumbing through it as I left the theater,
Yeah,
and
it was badass, Brad. Do you remember, Gabe, last week that guy had that Empire Strikes Back, like the comic book version of Empire Strikes Back? I don't know if Brad remembers it, but Brad, I got that book before the movie came out, and I remember and it's like colored deal, and I did read it. I read it. But it was completely different as a kid reading a book and seeing it on screen. It wasn't even a spoiler.
Well, Mike, when I went to Michael's, and again, for some reason, like I hadn't really, I mean, I had thought about them, but remember the little collection booklets that came with the Kenner toys?
Yeah.
Like a little flip booklet, and it'll tell you what's coming up or whatever. Yeah, Michael has a bunch of them, and like when we're over there, it was the first time I've held one of those since I was a kid. Yeah. So like even just like picking the little collection, little pamphlet that put it right. I was like, oh, I remember flipping through this, and like I wanted that so bad. I mean, it's a great feeling, man.
It is. It really is. Like honestly, like there's times where like the first time I started collecting the vintage figures, and if you hold one of them in your hand as an adult, I have. So yeah, I've collected every single one.
Y'all remember this one?
Oh
no, of course.
Yeah. Isn't that so cool?
There's something about the way that they displayed those figures in that it was always just like a wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, like as I guess as a kid, I used to go through like the catalog, I guess like J.C. Penney's and like Sears, like have those catalogs. You see all the old toys and like, oh my gosh, I used to love that.
Hey, so Sean, I bring that up when I get on the mic at Dark Side when I'm talking about 80s nostalgia. I've said it almost every single time lately, but I'm like, does everybody remember the Sears catalog? Remember the first thing you do when you got that, you'd go thumb to the back,
toys.
J.C. Penney's, Montgomery, but that's the Sears catalog because that was the one that had the blue snaggletooth in there. Yeah. That's the one that had the best in 3-piece with Ognot and Lobot and Han Solo.
You need to make the Dark Side Pizza menu in a catalog,
right?
And have them displayed like in the background with the orange and no.
So what I was going to do, check it out. I was going to do that. You know the wax paper that you put it could be like we put our garlic knots in it with the sauce. It's and also like when you put the pizza in the box, it's wax paper. But I had on purpose, I bought a Sears catalog because exactly that. I was going to take the toys and I got one, I think it was from 1982 or something. And I was going to have the wax paper of a Sears catalog was showing the toys. One was going to be for the guys and then the girls, but the cool shit. But it was like almost $10,000 to get them printed. It was ridiculous price. That stuff is so expensive you don't even know. But anyway, so I held off on that. But I have the book, so I thought, well, I wonder if there's a way that I can somehow, because I don't want to tear the book up, but I thought, I could display it where people could see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, those were like they're what I always call the touchstone moments in your life.
Yeah.
The moments where you where you were at those moments or times, and and you can just go back and it's like an 80s song or a 90s song where it just brings you back to that moment where you're like, it just, yeah.
Dude, you know that just recently happened with, and it was kind of one of those weird things. I got the Hot Toys '89 Batmobile, and I was opening it up just to make sure it wasn't broken. I have nowhere to put it. I had just pre-ordered it a long time ago, but just opening it up threw me back to the Toy Biz or Biz. Was it Toy Biz? Yeah,
Toy Biz. Yeah, Toy Biz.
The little belt would come out, and it was like his if you chase.
Yeah.
And then the Batmobile had its little like cheapy little cover that you put on top of
it. Yeah. It's all back molded.
Yeah, and it like threw me just immediately back to as a kid. I was like, oh my god, the Toy Biz Batman and Batmobile. Like what I need, that's what I should have bought instead of the Hot Toys one. You know?
Well, Gabe, okay, have you guys all had that? I mean, maybe Johnny and Sean, maybe. Have you guys all had that dream where you found a vault of like unboxed like Star Wars Kenner figures?
Can I talk? I've got to talk right now. I've got to tell you, Brad, I always go back. There was a place in San Antonio called Best Products.
Oh, Best. Yeah, I had them in Seattle. We were in Seattle.
Best.
Really?
Yeah, we had Best. Actually, that's where we got. I remember we had to. My brother ordered, and my mom ordered the snow speeder and the twin cloud car pilot, and we got it from Best.
Yeah, because they had the Best catalog. So
we have that nowhere too.
But I'm going to tell you, guys. So I didn't get to see Star Wars, unfortunately, for about 9 months after it hit. My mom didn't take me. It was, kids in the apartments that their parents took me. And so I remember, getting my first, when I get the toys, I remember each figure that I would get. I'm very clear. But I remember, and I'll never forget, I remember the picture of the boxes and stuff, but I had gone back and they had found, because like you just mentioned the snow speeder and all that stuff. So it was Empire, but at Best, they had found a couple old boxes of the original vintage up in their storage. They used to have a conveyor belt.
Yes.
Yeah. In the back of the store.
Yeah. Yes. So check it out. So this is a badass story we're talking about. So they had found a couple of the original 12 the boxes, and I remember seeing every time I would go, I always I could never have enough Jawas. I loved the Jawa figure, but they had them there, and I'm like, Mom, can I get it? And she wouldn't get them for me. You know what I mean? And I always, not necessarily dream, but I always remember if I could have got them,
Well, but also like, and this is one of those like time machine moments, like, somewhere there is a untouched box of figures somewhere.
No.
And we just haven't discovered it yet. It's somewhere.
Just like that there's buried money somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
So I'll tell y'all a story with me, because I worked in New York before the pandemic. I still do work in New York, but I'm home. But there was a guy who I worked with, older guy. He lived in Long Island, and his kids, he was moving out of his house, and his kids didn't want any of their toys, old toys from the 80s. So he was like, hey, I have a full collection of Superpowers and He-Man Masters of the Universe collection. So to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, how much are you going to charge me for this? He was like, to be honest, you can have it for free. I'm like, oh, this only happens to me, mind you.
Yeah, I guess so. Crying out loud. Come on.
So he brings it all in. He's on the train. He brings everything in. I swear, the day that I got everything, I pulled it out on the floor. Everybody at my job were like, yo, what is this? What is it? I'm like,
Castle Grayskull, the whole thing.
Oh, Castle Grayskull, everything. Since then, Michael, I have gotten rid of everything, mind you. Everything is gone at this point. But, it was just a luck of the draw. Like, because I'm the only person probably looking for that stuff.
Right.
I'm looking. I'm always looking. and people know me, and I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. So people come to me and like, hey, Sean, hey, I got this. I'm like, oh man, I would love to have that. Thank you very much. And I being nice, I gave him like $200-300, but
that's cool.
You know what? To me, like it was a beautiful thing. I had it for a while, and I just I didn't really have any love for it anymore. But that kind of stuff happens to me. It's crazy. Like you say that, Michael, but I get lucky. So I haven't got lucky with Star Wars stuff. Like I never get like vintage stuff.
A really good memory was when I remember, and this sounds cheesy, but getting Coke bottles, and remember you would get 10 cents a bottle.
Turn them in,
Yep, and I would go to the corner store and I would buy the Star Wars cards, the Topps cards. Mm-hmm. I'd have enough to get like 3 packs or whatever, and opening them up, that smell.
Well, funny enough, what you mentioned, like how like you have like those core memories with like your mom, Michael, and like Star Wars and stuff. Yeah, a lot of my core memories are actually with superpowers, because I think at that time those were the ones that like were readily available still, and my mom was able to like pick them up, or my parents, right? And every time I had like a special event, or like I got good grades in school or whatever, I was always kind of like rewarded with the superpower. So like to me, those like something about them, just holding them, pushing the little legs and making their arms move, or vice versa, right? Pushing their arms and making that to me is like, man, something about that just.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy what nostalgia does to us? Especially when you're in your 50s now.
Well, look at this picture, this comment, Albert says, do you ever feel like you're too consumed by the nostalgia bug?
Okay, look, it's so bad where I'm buying old 84 Chevy pickup trucks. I'm buying dirt bikes. I'm buying it's bad. I got it bad.
Well, Albert, I think that's what I was talking about, right? Like I started collecting a lot of other stuff, right? I started collecting all the stuff from the sequel trilogy. I started collecting, just random stuff that was coming out. And again, it's cool. Like I'm still open-minded to like collecting cool stuff, but ultimately I kind of always go back. It just always takes me back.
So like you guys have seen my collection where it's like, I mean, it's Star Wars, but it's also a lot of 80s stuff. Like there's a lot of things that I'll just collect because I'll sit here and I love just trolling like eBay and just like looking. It's the hunch, but then something just like hit my mind. I'm like, oh shoot, you remember like in my head it'll be like, oh, remember like those the gumball things where they had little toys in the gumball machines and stuff like that. And like I remember I was like obsessed with trying to find this little like Pepsi can in the gumball machine. And like I got it one time, and I was like so excited that I actually got it because it's kind of like a luck of the draw. It's almost like lottery or like gambling. It's I got it, and like, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they still have those on eBay. Like I found a whole set of them. And I'm like, oh my god. And
you know what's funny? My wife makes fun of me whenever I'm on eBay because she says I'm like Joe Dirt, because like I see something, I'm like, what? This guy wants $2,000 for that?
That's crazy.
For like 100, She's like,
Brad, do you remember? And I guess it was like Coca-Cola that you'd pull the top off the cat, you'd screw the top off, and you'd always have to use like a butter knife or whatever, and you peel that inner cap piece off.
Yeah, you pull it off.
Yeah. Because on the inside it had like there was like a winning
thing.
Yeah. Well, Michael, do you remember like when they? Yeah. Do you remember like when they made the Coke can that you opened and it popped up money?
No.
I remember the commercials. I never.
Oh yeah.
I've looked up those cans, and there was a huge lawsuit actually, Gabe, where because people were drinking them after it was just like because they put in water in the can, so it was indistinguishable. It was like 1986 or so, or 85. And they made these cans, but like you popped them open, they had this thing that shot up. And it wasn't real cash, but it was like a voucher for cash. But like I've looked at those cans, I was like, because you heard of them out there. I'm like, and I found one, and like they want like $300 just for the can. It's just there's certain things I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Like so, like I have a full laser tag things that all the things that from laser tag.
I got one too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're super cheap.
That's so
They're
cool.
super cheap now. You can buy everything from laser tag for like $50.
Wait, and you know why I loved it? Because remember the Garbage Pail Kid that was
Yes.
Laser Ray?
Yeah.
That right there. I just love the design of that gun. Like, like very space, like futuristic, and then the little vest with the little, red button on there. Yeah, I ended up I bought a power glove too. So now I have a power glove.
Yeah.
I had to. It's like one of these like nostalgia.
You know what it is, and Johnny, I'm gonna let you talk real quick. Is you know what it is? It's because the 80s and the 90s, I guess for Johnny is 90s, because those were the times that we didn't have a care in the world, and we enjoyed our life then, and like we didn't have bills, we didn't have all those. And we got to play with our stuff. We got to have fun with our stuff. Yeah. And the kids today don't know that. But for us, like we got to enjoy that part and we hold on to that with such like value. And it's like
it doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. It's just lost.
Nope. Yeah, it's you'll never see going through I live out in the country, Gabe knows, and then you go through this like a neighborhood. And you'll never see kids riding on bicycles.
Dude,
I tell them we never in the street. It's just
BMX bikes are our livelihood. That's
dude.
Well, I think that's a great example. Like my kids have their bikes, but I guarantee when they grow up, they're not going to be like, "Oh my god, like I love that bike," because they didn't use them for like basically everyday survival. Basically,
what they're going to remember about is how long it took to put on all the safety fucking gear, you know what I mean? We didn't have helmets and shit.
No, hell.
So let me ask y'all this, because I remember the last time, Michael, and you may not remember, but me and Denise were talking in your living room, and Wednesday was playing, but Stranger Things had just finished, and she like saw it like all in one sitting. She was telling me, and since we were talking about Coke, let me ask y'all this: what was y'all's first reaction to the new Coke when it first came out?
I can say I didn't care. I didn't even think about it.
I'm not a Coke drinker, really.
Right.
Yeah, I remember. I would say the biggest thing that I remember with Coke was when Coke Cherry came out. When Cherry Coke came out, I remember that was the hugest thing. So I remember going to the movie theater, and it was the biggest thing was the Cherry Coke. But new Coke was like, man, I don't think any of us. It was like just sugar.
It hurt bad though.
No, you know which one I remember a lot that was like the big promotion was Pepsi Clear. You guys remember?
Yes.
That was a huge promo that I remember like huge. All about.
What was that?
And then it was
just Pepsi without the coloring, so it was clear. It was like Sprite, but it tasted like Pepsi. Like you drink it.
I got one.
James Bond. Do you remember the James Bond promo? The License to Chill.
Yeah.
The Pepsi License to Chill, and it would be like you'd have to drink a Coke and a Pepsi, and you'd be like, "Oh, which one's the Pepsi?" And then you'd get a little card, and you got your license to chill.
What about Pop Rocks? Y'all remember Pop Rocks?
Oh hell
yeah! Oh, yeah.
Do they still have those or no?
They do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was
I hated that shit.
Yeah, it was a novelty. You put them in your mouth, and you just like with your mouth open.
Yeah, you were a big deal if you could put the whole package in your mouth. Right?
Yeah, and then there's like the whole thing where the kid drank it and like died, but that never actually was.
But it was an urban legend.
I remember hearing that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, even
the Mythbusters debunked it. Like it was like, oh, your stomach can handle well. I think they packed it with like 10 packs and like 15 Cokes, and like, nah, it doesn't do anything.
No, for me in elementary school, the biggest thing was like if you got Squeeze-Its, because like then there was like the fake Squeeze-Its, but then there was the real Squeeze-Its with like the face on the actual little bottle. Yeah. If you got the real ones, and you went to like in my elementary school, if you had a real Squeeze-It, you're like, oh my god, your parents bought you like Squeeze-Its.
I just remember the pencils that smelled. They were like for $1 growing up, and it was just like you have to have that pencil.
Ours were stickers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Michael and I are like the scratch and sniff.
Hey, did y'all ever get that one magazine that you could? Never mind, I'm just kidding. I always wondered how did they pull that off? Is it like Dirty Armpits and I mean,
Uh,
we better change the subject. I'm sorry. I mean, how did they pull that scratch and sniff thing off?
I'm thinking about pickles and peanut butter and jelly scratch and sniffs, but
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. I don't know what anytime I ever saw nude magazines, I don't know if I'm the only one, but it was when I was out on my bike on the back trails in the neighborhoods, and you'd always find those magazines that like in the bush shit.
Yeah, in a bush. Dude, I grew up in Seattle. You'd always find nudie magazines in a bush. Like some random you just like out there. Was it just the 70s or 80s like that we just would go and find a hustler or a cherry?
Yeah,
stashed in the fucking bush.
Oh man.
Under
Hey, speaking of Bush all the way. I mean, I don't know what's happening nowadays. Like Gabe, sorry, you got Lucasfilm watching right now, but I'm just going to tell you that
80s Bush is the best.
Oh man, I want 110%.
We have sidetracked. We just lost every single watcher, except for Jimmy and probably like a couple other like normal people.
I don't know how we went from pop rocks to bushes, but I don't know if this might be a good time to.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, before we wrap up here shortly, I did want to say that I don't know if you guys follow Michael McMaster, but Bob's finally starting to come along a little bit. I'm looking forward to getting him done. So,
yeah.
Have you seen it, Brad?
So I haven't, but I know Mike. I know Mike personally, and he's just north of me, up in.
Yeah, he's been posting, Bob. It's looking pretty badass.
Well, dude, I would love like anytime you come back out to LA, that I know Gabe. Are you doing LA Comic Con?
Yeah, I'll probably do LA Comic Con now.
Yeah. So I mean, because did you see that they have Michael J. Fox and everybody else?
Yeah.
So it's a great con. Like finally, that we're actually getting people out here that you normally have, in Texas. Like they never have people coming out here for whatever reason to sign. Like I don't know why, but like finally we're getting some good people. So we're getting Hayden Christensen. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Hayden. Ewan's coming.
I think and Rosario and
So are they going to be? Are they? So what's next right now? With
LA Comic Con is in what, October?
Yeah, I think it's October.
Yeah, but I'm saying what's next with Star Wars, Disney?
Oh, the Skeleton Crew, I think, is next, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Skeleton Crew in the new movies.
Just out of the blue, and really Rogue One.
Like, and if anybody's interested in buying, because I have a bunch of these freaking masks, Skeleton Crew masks. They're the
nice.
Yeah. If you want them, like, I'll let them go.
I might hit you up for one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, cool, guys. Well, yeah, this was a great time. I'm so happy you guys jumped on, and
sure.
Sean, thank you so much for joining us, man. Anytime, man, you want to.
Yeah, you're part of the crew now, brother.
Thanks,
yeah. You've done fucked yourself up now. Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna try to do more of these, right? Like just trying to get back to more of a community space, sharing cool stuff and cool stories. So we'll keep you guys updated. Yeah. Any
the next one will be 2027 when Joseph has his collection curated.
All curated. I know, we'll see.
Gabe, I'm gonna do a shameless plug on myself.
Please.
I do a Star Wars show every Wednesday. It's called Star Geeks. I do that. We talk about all the Star Wars stuff that comes out. We just did Star Wars video games. All the good video games from like the 80s.
Yeah.
It's shameless.
No, absolutely, man. No, go follow Sean. Go check out his stuff. Yeah, I gotta check it out. I'll check it out, man.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah, I got a couple of the Regal Robot stuffs hit, and I know, Gabe, you've had it all, but Klaatu and Bib Fortuna came in this week.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's on the way.
Cool stuff, man.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, any final words anybody want to say before we wrap it up?
I would like to.
Oh.
I would like to say something when y'all are ready. I would just
Just
like to.
visit Dark Side.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's badass.
I would like to say to all of our veterans out there, hope you guys have a great rest of your 4th of July weekend. And let's not forget what, even though this country is completely divided, but we're all, like I said in my deal, the other post the other day, we're all one. We all share the same goal. And the bottom line is there's not a better country out there than the United States. And we're very, very lucky to be able to do the things that we do. And it's because of the freedoms that we were given throughout, time. So I just want to say to all of the people out there that have given us the opportunity to have our freedom, thank you so very much. And let's have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend.
God bless you.
Look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you guys all next week.
May the
Good night,
fourth
everybody.